In this video, I'm going to look at an example Python program that imports some of the standard modules and sees what some of them can do. The code can be found at the URL seen. Okay, so here's the program. The first module that I'm going to bring in is the Sys System Module. The documentation can be seen here at this address. And I'm showing some of its built-in properties. So it can tell you the path, the byte order, that whether your computer is using little endian or big endian, tell you your platform. So let's run that and sort of scroll up and down and see what each of these does as it's doing it. And the last thing in there was to bring up a website. So there's the website brought up. So let's look back at this system module stuff, which was at the top. And so here is the path. That's a system an environment variable that tells you the places where your computer looks for executable code. Other than wherever your current location is, it looks also in these locations for sort of commands and executables. Big endian or little endian is a way of sort of storing information, and it's telling you that the computer I'm on is using little endian, and the platform I'm on a Windows machine, Win32. Another module, and there are tons and tons of modules. I'm showing you a few things of what these modules do. So look at the documentation, it's fast. Now and again, I should emphasize that with a module, you import it. So now I'm importing the math module. It supports factorial, logarithms, and so on. So, and of course, many other things, but here is 6 factorial with 720. The log base 2 of 26 is 4.7004, etc. Okay, there is a date time module. Dates and times are always cumbersome, and you have different ways of writing them, and there's date and time together, and just time and just date, and so it's a sort of a vast thing. But so import date time. We can look at today, the date, the date and time, and various properties of sort of this now. Get this now is the date time now, and then we can show different properties of it. Okay, so let's look at that. Scroll down here. Here is the date time information. So this was just me printing date time module, today's date, and then here is today. So it gave me that it is 2021, October 15th. Then I asked for the date time and print that out. And so now it added the time portion of that. And now I said, then I did now equals. So I got to assign that to that output to a variable. And I said, print its type, and it's telling me that it's of the date time class. And then I said, did dir, so it's going to list all kinds of properties of this now object. And then one of them was the weekday. And so I picked that one out. So one of them was weekday. I picked that one out and said, let's show the weekday. And it's telling me 4. So it's not telling me that it's Friday. It's telling me that it is the 5th day of the week. Monday was 0, Tuesday 1, up to now 4. Okay. Next one I want to look at is the OS, the operating system. And this one I have a little bit more code for, but lots of it is just print statements. So here's the import the OS, the operating system model. I can get figure out where the working directory is, this current working directory, CWD. I can find out who's logged on, who the user is. I can find the path of file refers to the code that I'm in right now. So then I can figure out where the file I am is. And I can get pieces of it. I can get just the directory name. So I can, when I'm asking where the file is, it's going to include the name of the file. But if I want just a directory, the location, I can do that. And then I can do a chdir, a change directory. And on a command line, it would just be cd. And I can change it. So here's the path of the file, and here's the directory name of the path of the file, and then we can change the directory to that. So now we're changing as far as the sort of the virtual terminal we're running the program from. It is now located at where the file it's running is. And now I just repeated the get CWD, current working directory. Now we can see that it should be the sort of this location should now be where the file we were running is. I can make a directory. I made a directory called poop, and then I can list the contents of the directory. Now I did not move into poop. I just made it. So then when I list the contents, I should know that at least one of the things in there is the folder poop. Okay. So let's look at that down here in the results. Here we go. So the current working directory was users Plum. So that is not where my program is, but that's where the terminal defaulted to. And the current user is me, Blum. And then the full path of the program file I'm running, I have it in downloads, a folder called some standard modules F21.1. And then here's the name of the file, but I can pick off and get just the name of the directory. Then I can change the directory to that. So now I'm getting the current working directory after I've changed it. And then I created that directory poop. And then I said, what are the contents of the working directory? And it is that directory poop and this file that I'm running, the Python file. And then the last standard, and again, there are many, many of these. I'm just showing you a few, but I like web browsers. So I imported the web browser module, and now I'm using it to open a particular URL, and that you saw that pop up, that brought up sort of my website here, and it brought it up in Edge. Okay, so some useful standard modules. That's what I wanted to show you in here. Import them, use the documentation to learn their properties, and take advantage of all that code that people wrote for you.